Hi, good morning. I wanted to come on and share my testimony. Forgive me for the way I look right now. It's early morning. But I wanted to get this out. I wanted it to be as raw and real as possible. Um, it's time to share my testimony, and the Lord has been on me about this. Just getting it out, just finally just releasing this. The purpose of this is because I'd like to just set a lot of people free. So this isn't easy for me because I'm a very private person. I've been in a really long process with a healing, from just childhood trauma and different things like that. And I know that a lot of people have been in the same process. The Lord's been healing a lot of us. We've been going through a lot of the same things, like on one accord. And there is something that I didn't even realize until recently that He's brought to me. I have a ton of different testimonies that I could tell, but this is actually something that I would hold it in. I would never share this with anyone. And I've kept it to myself for so long that I forgot about it, that it just lay dormant, and that I didn't even realize that I had issues or that this was an issue. I just forgot. Let me just get into it. So first, I'm gonna just say that I struggled recently with religion and being somewhat of a homophobe, and I didn't know why. It's like I tried to love everyone, and when you're just holier than someone else, or when you think that you're better or holier than other people, you just don't even think about it. You just think this in yourself, and of course you mask it. Like in public, of course I love everybody, and then we have this mask that we put on. And we say that we love people. We say that we love everybody. But inside, we're judging. And so just a moment ago, the Lord gave me Matthew 7. Let me see, Matthew 7 and 12, 11 to 12. Let me see. Matthew chapter 7. And this isn't my testimony, by the way, not yet. It says, "Do not judge." Matthew 7. "Judge not that you be not judged." Judge not that you be not judged. For with that judgment you judge, you will be judged. And with that measure that you use, it will be measured back to you. And so that's what the Lord gave me this morning. And let me get into my testimony now, because it's hard to, this is tough for me. And I just want to just say in love that forgive me for any and everyone that I've ever judged. In my heart, of course, I didn't do this in person or treat people that way. You know, I always wore masks. But in my youth, when I was really young, I was introduced to porn. And there was somebody that my parents, my dad specifically, he invited over to spend the night. He stayed there a few nights, and he just had a horrible addiction. He drank beer, and he watched porn. Now, my dad could have done this, but I never saw anything. But this guy, when he was gone or whatever, or he was watching it, whatever, I looked behind him. I forgot how it happened, but I saw behind him, and I saw it. And from then, it was a thing to where I started watching it from then on. That was when I was introduced. Later on, fast forward, I was babysitting. It was one of my jobs. I babysat two young, they were Iranian people. They were two young boys, and I would take really good care of the kids because I was a teenager at the time. Because I'm a natural mother. I always loved taking care of kids, but the man in that household also, he had a porn addiction, and I found his porn stash, and I started watching. When I put the kids down, I started watching it there as well. And so that grew into fantasizing about encounters. And this is still me as a teenager. I was just fantasized, and it was specifically, I started fantasizing about lesbian porn or encounters, and I started watching lesbian porn. And just recently, the Lord brought to me that I was molested. And I forgot about that. I always said, I used to always say, I feel for people that were molested, and I'm so sorry that happened to them. And I'm just so glad that never happened to me, but it did. And I just forgot about it. And so I do remember it very well, and it was from a close family member. I don't want to say who, but it was a girl, it was a female, and that would explain the lesbian porn addiction and the fantasizing. And so there were a couple incidents in my youth. When I was 11, I specifically remember we lived in an apartment building at the time, and my mom was doing laundry. My sisters were, I don't know where everybody else was, but I left the laundry room to go to the house. And as I came in, there was a man that was looking. He looked to the right and the left, and I can tell as I was going up the stairs, I kind of ran up there, and I ran past him. And I remember just seeing him look to the left or the right, and I could tell that he was coming up after me. And so I stared at the door, and I heard loudly a voice in my ear say, "Lock the door." I don't know how I knew, but I knew that the man was gonna rape me. And after, and then when I turned, you know, when those old school knobs where you turn to lock the lock, and I locked it, and right then, that's when the man, I saw the knob wiggle, so he was about to come in right before I locked it. And I don't know how I understood this. I was only 11, but I knew that he was coming in to rape me. And I knew, now when I look back, I knew that I had a couple encounters where the enemy was just trying to seal it. He was trying to seal the deal of me being homosexual myself, because I had tendencies. I had a different, you know, the fantasizing and the porn, and they were just trying to seal it with being abused, because they know that people that are sexually abused, they tend to move toward having just full on, just because I was already just kind of a tomboyish, had a tomboyish demeanor, you know. I loved hip hop music. I loved it for a long time, and I would write a lot, and I just loved I would get into the demeanor, and the tendencies to be kind of tomboyish. And I was always really feminine, but they wanted to, I know that the enemy just wanted an encounter, a rape encounter, to kind of push me over the edge with it. So, and I already felt kind of distant toward guys. Like I liked guys. I've always liked guys. And I still do. I love men, but I've always felt like I didn't need a guy, or I love my kid's father. He passed a while back, but after him, I felt like he was the only person that I really loved. And so after he passed, and I had a really close friend that was a guy, and I just never really, I didn't really like him that way, and it was like that for every other guy. Like I really didn't like guys like that anymore. I didn't like guys like that anymore. You know, it was just like a friendship kind of thing. And we ended up together, but it was more like meeting my needs kind of thing. It was more along the lines of that. And never had any really true feelings for him. So there was another encounter that I had when I was a young adult, that I was walking through a park, and there was a guy, some random guy. He was darting towards me. Now this was in Northern California, and there was a park there in Vallejo area. There was a park that it dips down, and if you're down there, nobody sees you. And I just stupidly by myself walked through there. And as I was walking through, there was a guy that was walking toward me, like with a vengeance. Like he was just, I knew that I was in danger. And so I reached my hand in my bag. I didn't know what I was doing. I don't know. I was looking for something. I don't know. Maybe I was prompted to do this. I didn't have any weapon or anything. I don't know what was going on, but I know that as soon as I did that, he changed his whole direction and went the opposite way. And I know, oh yeah, that is, I don't know why that light went off. But that I don't know what that's about. But the light just turned off for no reason. Yeah, he changed his whole direction. I'm going to still share my testimony in the dark. Forgive me, but the light just shut off. And the electricity's not off because, as you can see, my Christmas lights are I put those up. Anyway, I'm going to still share my testimony. But he completely darted in a different direction. And I knew for a fact, I knew that the Lord had intervened, because as soon as I reached in my bag, I didn't know what I had or what I was reaching for. I know I didn't have a weapon, but he just changed his full direction, thinking that I had a gun or a knife or something. Probably thought I had a gun. And that was the Lord. That second time he saved my life. He saved me from being raped. I don't know how I knew, but I knew that I was saved from being raped. And I knew that the enemy had plans. Yeah. I knew that the enemy had plans for me to be raped, because I used to have dreams. And now that I would always dream. Now I was a dreamer. I've always been a dreamer ever since I was little. I'm like a Joseph type, just always dreaming. The Lord would show me things. And the enemy would try to infiltrate and give me dreams. They would give me dreams of them wanting to rape me. And that's how I knew that the enemy had plans to do this. And so I just wanted to be transparent. I wanted to share my testimony so that I could set someone free. Just even if it's one person. And this is actually setting me more free than it could anyone else. Because I know now that the feelings of me being homophobic were just a reflection. It was a reflection of myself. I think it's called deflecting, or I can't think right now. Projecting. It was called projecting. I was just projecting. And I used to project. I really absolutely, I love everyone I do. I love everyone. I notice about people that homosexual people are the sweetest people I've ever met in my life. And I just know that I watched a couple testimonies before. I used to always watch near-death experiences and testimonies, and I remember coming across a testimony of a guy that said that the Lord, although he was homosexual, that the Lord, he was trying to commit suicide, and the Lord showed him that he was loved by him. And I remember him saying that he was looking in the mirror. He was brought into this place. He was looking in the mirror, and he could, if he thought it, he could change his hairstyle to any hairstyle that he wanted. And that he was just glowing with radiance, and he was like he was loved, and he just looked so assured. He just looked so assured and being loved by the Lord. And it's true. It's like, no matter, the Lord is no respecter of persons. He doesn't just love someone just because, you do a lot of works, or that you do anything. We don't have to do anything. We are saved by grace through faith. And there's nothing we can do that can earn our salvation. He just loves us. He just loves us. We're saved by grace through faith. If we have the faith to believe that we are saved, and that we believe in our heart that he died for us, and we repent of our sin, forgive me. I'm going to say right now, forgive me for forever. For ever thinking that I was more than anyone or better than anyone and being religious. When I am absolutely nothing, I'm no better. I'm no better than I'm nothing, I'm no one, I'm no better than anything or anyone. I am just a vessel that the Lord is using. And I just pray that he uses me to let someone know that you are loved, no matter how far you think you've gone, no matter how far you've slipped into sin or whatever it is that you've done. You have not slipped so far to where he can't reach you. And I want to say the sinner's prayer for anyone that wants to give your life to the Lord now, in the dark here. If you want to give your life to the Lord, I want you to repeat after me. Lord Jesus Christ, I believe you are the Son of God and the only way to God. I believe you died on the cross for me. You were buried and you were resurrected for me. Galatians 3:13 says that we are free from every curse, every lie of the enemy, every lie that I was told from the enemy is a lie, and I am set free in Christ. I believe you rose from the dead for me, Lord, and I believe that you set me free. If you've said that prayer and you believe it in your heart, you are truly set free, and you don't have to worry about when you die or when you pass or whatever happens. You know for sure, for a fact, that he will receive you. My cousin, Red, just recently passed. He has a funeral coming up and I'm going. And I hope to give a testimony when I'm there as well. But my cousin, he was openly gay. And I love my cousin so much. I didn't take it too well. I didn't take it too well when he passed, but he died. I don't know where he went. And so that's the hard part, not knowing. So I urge you to know where you're going, because tomorrow's not promised to anyone. Tomorrow's not promised to anyone. So I want you to be blessed. And I hope to see you in heaven one day. I love you so much. And thank you for hearing me. Thank you for listening to my testimony. God bless you.